Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Black VegFest Breakout. I am your host, Jillian Mariscal, also owner of Sabrosa Vegana. Today, we're talking about vegan breakfast options. So, in our series of going vegan and veganism, and how that looks like now in a pandemic and just in general, we're going to be going over today some breakfast options and cooking some breakfast. Okay? I know it's lunchtime, but who says breakfast has to be only for lunch, right? Thank you for joining me, and we're going to be going through breakfast today. So, I have a lot of options here, and I'm going to cook some and just show you others. And there are things that I've been eating throughout the years. I'm vegan for at least 5 years now. And so, yeah, I'm going to cook it up today. We're going to do some eggs and tempeh bacon and more stuff like that. So we're going to start with some tofu scramble. Now, I used to love eggs, and so that was one of the hardest things it was for me to change. But when companies started coming out like just egg, and they become a lot more affordable, that's when I started to shift to having this one instead of the tofu scramble. But I do love the tofu scramble, don't get me wrong, and it's really high in protein. So we're gonna try to cook both ways today. I have a little bit left of the just egg that I want to show you how to make, and we're also gonna make tofu scramble. Now, before I start, there's a lot of alternative meats. I know American breakfasts are usually like sausage and bacon with eggs and like French toast and like hash browns and things like that. But you can veganize all that now. Like it's such a good time to go vegan. Also, if you like my shirt, I got this online through Instagram. Sabrina said I'll post it on my Sabrosa Vegana. I love her brand. All right, so let's go through it. We're gonna cook the tofu scramble and the just egg, but I today wanted to do this veggie bacon, this tempeh. What is tempeh? Tempeh is soybeans that are fermented whole, like semi. Well, these you could see how you can still see the shape. It's not that's not they're not this small, but they're whole together and then they're sliced. So, yes, we're gonna show you how to make the just egg because it is a little tricky sometimes. So tempeh bacon, I like it because it has high in obviously protein, but I love the smoky flavor to it. It really does. It's great for BLTs as well, but I also like it on the side with my with my eggs. Now, another thing, Gardein has these breakfast sausages. I know that Beyond Meat has them now, and another companies. So these breakfast sausages are becoming pretty popular. I like the Gardein ones for sandwiches. They have really good flavor. They just remind me, I hate to say it, they remind me of the McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, the sausages. And so those are really amazing. So this brand you'll find in most supermarkets now. And you can chop this up and add it to your egg, your tofu scramble, your egg, or your just eggs. Or you can leave it on the side, or you could put it in a sandwich. The same way you used to do it before vegan is the same way you could do it now that you're vegan, which is the big part. Also, there's toppings like bacon bits that you could put on your um, eggs. Now, some of them say real bacon flavor, but the original, and if you look, always check the ingredients, always. It's just soy. The original is just soy. So I like to add this when I just want a little saltiness and crunch. It's optional if you don't like soy. A lot of these things can be interchanged. There's soy-free options now as well, especially with Beyond Meat. There's soy-free and gluten-free options. We're also going to go through gluten-free options too. So that's coming up. But let's go through the eggs first because that's my favorite. So I also have another type of meat that I found in Chinatown, a place called Lily's Vegan Pantry, and it's like ham. Look at this. It's like a thick piece of ham, and I love this with the egg and sandwiches. I'll cut and I'll sear it up, and I'll put it with the eggs, or I'll chop it up and I'll put it with the eggs. I've even made empanadas with the egg and bake and the ham in it, and it smells just like ham. It's so crazy. Look how thick it is too. It's like a thick piece of like it's like Canadian bacon kind of thing, right? But it's vegan. It's vegan. So my point is, there's so many options now. Going vegan, that is it's fun to try them. Let's just explore. Breakfast doesn't have to be like fruit. And even though if you want to do fruit and you're detoxing and you're like, okay, but I'm a fruitarian. Sure, fruit is fine. I'm not downing fruit. But some people are not used to eating fruit and they would like to eat more like what they used to eat before. So I did this for myself too when I went vegan, because I said, if I'm gonna feel like I want to backslide in a way, like I'm gonna at least go for these comforting vegan products, right? So there's a lot of vegan options now. There's no reason to like have to go back to eating meat at all. Okay, so let's go through the tofu scramble first. I have the stove here that's kind of hot, and I'm going to put my pan on. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, we'll go through the just egg first, okay? We're gonna go through just egg first. Now, I don't know if you could see, I literally have like about this much just egg left, which is fine because I'm about to put a lot of stuff in it, and I'm gonna make it into tortillas. We're gonna do like egg tortillas in the morning. So I like to. My son likes this, and it's like a quick little thing too. I do for his breakfast. And I like to eat it like this too. So let's start. I'm going to wait till the pan gets hot. Just like any cooking, you want to wait till the pan gets a little hot. And with just egg, let's turn this on. With just egg, you really don't want to play around with it too much. You want to let it cook. If you keep scrambling it more, you don't want to take it out and scramble it. There's no need to do that. You do shake it up in here, right? And you let it sit for a second while this is getting hot. Now, I am gonna put a tomato and pepper in my eggs, and then I was gonna put scallion, but not today. I also have some spinach that I'm going to put in my egg. I love putting any left, like I'm almost finished with my spinach, so I was like, throw that in the egg. Whatever left, I had this from the other night. Throw it in the egg. This is also using up our leftover fruits and vegetables, so we're not wasteful. So I'm going to chop that up real quick while our pan gets hot. And we're going to make like a little omelet with the just egg. Now, I'm serious. Like, this really was a game changer for me. But I wouldn't use it so much for baking, okay? It's mostly because it has a distinct flavor. So for baking, I use either a flax egg, which is just flaxseed grounded with a little water. I use bananas either for baking, or in a non-flavored egg replacer called Energy G, something like that. So this is getting hot here. Let's see. Yes, this is hot. Gonna lower the heat. Okay, everyone can see the pan, right? All right, so we're gonna do just egg right now, and then we're gonna do a tofu scramble. So I'm gonna chop up real fast. Again, how do I chop up these peppers? I stand them this way and I go down, because it gives me nice, better cuts, and everything off in one shot there. Okay, now I'm gonna chop these up pretty good, and I'm gonna throw these in while the pan is hot, because this takes a little longer to cook. Always you want to throw the items that take longer to cook first, and in this case it is the peppers. I'm not going to use all the peppers. I'm going to use some for the just egg and some for the tofu scramble. So I'm just going to chop up these peppers. I usually put also like onions, and like I really love a lot of stuff in my eggs, like the Western omelet style. So I'm gonna throw that in there. And notice I didn't put any oil. I'm not putting oil. The pan is on high, or it's on medium. And this is a non-stick. I'm gonna try to not use oil. A lot of these products do have oils as well, and we're trying to minimize the use of oils. Now, I am putting a tomato, but I'm not putting that yet because it's not going to. It's gonna overcook too fast, and it'll just basically turn into skin. You don't want that. You actually want the tomatoes in there. So the spinach I'm going to throw in last, and the tomatoes. Now if I had like onions, I'd throw them in. If I'm doing other color peppers, I throw them in. You want, remember, the hard vegetables to go in first. Now shake this one last time, and I'm going to just pour it. I'm going to make a little because I don't have that much left. I tried to go buy some more today. They were sold out. So it's a good thing and also a bad thing. Like it's good that there's such a demand, but it's also not good when you want to get some eggs in the morning. Okay, so I'm gonna pour that in there. Now, some pans don't cook evenly. I'm gonna put that here. We just poured some just egg. Some pans don't cook evenly, so just make sure you're stirring this around and making sure that it doesn't get too hot. Now you're seeing it bubble here. That's good, and it's not sticking. If it starts to stick, start to lift it up a little bit. So remember, we don't want to play with it too much. We just don't want it to. We want it to cook evenly. I would even put a cover on it sometimes, and you see it already. You see it already. Now you see I'm not going like this, right? The just egg is not for this whole business. Even if you want it scrambled like that, you wait till it cooks first on the bottom layer and then fold it and then chop it like scrambled. Don't scramble it while it's cooking because it will not function the way you think it might in that way. I'm going to add seasoning to it because it does need seasoning. So I'm going to add some garlic powder. And then garlic powder is usually salty, so I'm not going to add salt right now because I'm also going to add ketchup to my egg. This is going to be my lunch, my breakfast / lunch. I'm going to put some black pepper. And that's it. That's it. Now I'm going to add my tomatoes because I see that it's already cooked, that layer like that. It's already pretty much cooked there. It cooked fast because it was just a little bit. So now I'm going to add my tomatoes and my spinach. Now, another option, because, we're used to having this in the city or wherever. Hey, cheese, right? So I might throw some cheese in there too. Why not? Let's do that right now. I'm gonna throw some spinach now. Okay. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of mozzarella cheese. I really do like this brand too, Good Planet. So I'm gonna throw a little bit in there. Now notice I'm still not stirring it like crazy. Stay with me now. Now I'm gonna fold it. So I'm gonna take this, fold it, fold it, fold it again. Okay? I'm folding it. Folding it gently, moving it around. Let it cook on one side. It's hard to burn this type of egg. I mean, obviously if you have it on high, it's gonna be easy to burn. But once this side cooks a little bit more, I'm gonna turn it over. Let this side cook more. And there you go. That's it. Like all the ingredients are embedded inside the egg. Oh man, it looks so good. Now, while this is cooking, I like to warm up my tortillas that I'm going to eat with it right over it like that. It kind of also helps it cook all the way through the cheese, and it cooks also warms up the tortilla. So I have the egg underneath, and I just put this over to kind of warm it up as well. Now I'm going to set up a little area to plate. Okay, I don't know if you can see the plating there. I'm trying to have everything in here. Okay, there you go. And I'll turn this over. And it's nice and hot already. All in the same pan. You don't have to warm this up any other way. Now I'm gonna put this half and half like this. So these are breakfast, there we go. Flipped it, and you have it all in whole like so good. Okay, I'm gonna let that cook for another, I would say 3 minutes. I split it up already, so I'm gonna put half on here and half on there. And then that is my just egg breakfast. So you notice with just egg, where's the just bottle? With just egg, you don't need to stir it so much. Just make sure that you're letting it sit for a little bit. You put the layers of the ingredients you want. Once you see that the bottom has cooked and it's able to fold, you fold it in half and then flip it again. You can put the egg first and then put the ingredients on top so that it embeds more, and then you have a nicer looking omelet. However you like it. This was going in a tortilla, so it doesn't have to look. Okay, I'm gonna flip it one more time, just so I get a little brown on both sides. Doesn't that look real? Right? Who says breakfast can't, like vegan breakfast can't be and taste good like this? All right. So I think that's done. That's gonna go straight into my omelet. I mean my tortillas that I warmed. And there we go. I'm gonna show you right now how this looks. Now remember, we put the tomatoes last and the spinach, so that last like cooking didn't overcook the tomatoes or the spinach. Spinach cooks fast anyway, like withers really fast. So we have our first meal there. Oh my gosh, that looks so good, right? Okay, now really quick, just to make it the whole caboodle, let's do some bacon. Now, when it comes to this types of bacon, there's a lot on the market. Like, really, just go have fun if you're not allergic to stuff, and if you are, there are options still, which is great. They're not limited to all soy products, but I think that this tempeh bacon has less process to it. It is a whole bean fermented. Okay, I'm opening this up. It smells amazing. The smokiness on it, it smells so good. So I'm just gonna put 3 pieces on here. Okay, that's that. And while that cooks, I'm gonna go show you some other products. So this is the just egg here, right? People just joining. And I put cheese in there, I put a tomato, I put spinach, I put pepper, and that's an egg. That's a good breakfast right there. Lots of protein. Remember, not only do we need protein, but we need fiber, right? So, I mean, making a smoothie in the morning is wonderful as well. What I like to put in the smoothies are obviously strawberry, banana. I like to put dates in the smoothie. Trader Joe's sells them pretty affordably, and you don't need that many. What I do first with the dates, before I put them in the blender, I soak them in a little bit of warm or hot water and make sure they're de-seeded. They usually have seeds in the middle, okay? So make sure they don't have seeds, and if they do, take them out before you blend them, obviously. And then also, so I like to soak it in a little warm water first, so it blends better. Okay. Also in smoothies, I put. Can anyone tell me what this is? Can anyone guess what this is? That I put in the smoothies? This is sea moss. This is agar. So this has a ton of minerals, really great booster for you in the morning. And I just put about 1 tablespoon in my smoothie. It does not have that strong of a salt flavor as you would think. I buy this dried and then I soak it. I wash it like crazy because it does have salt when you buy it dried. I soak it overnight and then I blend it. I boil it and then blend it. And then we have our agar, our sea moss, okay? So sea moss gel, yes, also known as agar, which is can be used for vegan gelatin replacements because it's like gelatin, it's a gel. Okay? So I put this in my smoothies along with flaxseed and chia. Okay? So there's a lot of options for breakfast. You don't have to eat like the traditional American breakfast. You can have also smoothies and just make sure you're adding nutrients to these things. If you're vegan, it doesn't mean you're just eating plain salad. You have to make sure you're packing it with nutrients with a variety of colors and a variety of vegetables and fruits, right? Um, Another thing I like to add in my smoothie is sunflower butter. Okay, this is a great alternative to. I'm gonna just flip these little bacons here real quick. They're browning, which is great. It smells so good. Let me flip that better. So both sides get brown, and I'll show you right now how that looks. Look at it, it's getting brown on one side. I didn't put any oil still. You see how we're trying not to use so much oils, okay? So we have browning on one side. So I like to use sunflower butter in my smoothies, just a scoop to get that protein, and it is allergy free because it is a seed and not a nut. So it is also really good for breakfast for kids with some fruit. Just dip it. I like to have it with banana or apple or pear, whatever fruit you have that is like hard and crunchy that you can just dip in it. This is good for also for my son's school because you're not allowed to really pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches anymore. It has to have an alternative to that. So sunflower seed oil. I get this butter. I get this at Trader Joe's as well. I just like their prices. They're pretty affordable. All right. So I think this is done. I want to start the tofu scramble before we finish, right? Because that is, I do this as a cooking demo, the tofu scramble, usually, and I want to get that one done. So, uh, while that's going, one more breakfast thing here. Bagels. Bagels with cream cheese. So, what kind of cream cheese do I use? I used to go use this one a lot, okay? Um, And when I felt like adding like scallions, I'll just take scallions and like mix it into the cream cheese. But this cream cheese right here is so good. This is how do you say it? Viola Life. It is such a good cream cheese. Like like we're almost out of it already. Like we dip these breadsticks in it. We put it with the toast, with a bagel. It is it is made from coconut oil and potato starch and stuff. Like it's such a good cream cheese. So I recommend this one if you see it in the store. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. Whenever I do see it, I try to grab one. It is kind of pricey, I'll give you that much. So remember, we're not really supposed to be eating cream cheese bagels every day because it's not nutritious, right? It's not like high compact nutritional value. So this is just like if you're like, oh, in a rush and I need to have a bagel and cream cheese, you have that option, right? But again, we are not really supposed to be eating like heavy type bagel and cream. You know, those like I don't want to down anything, but like at this, when those corner that they sell like croissants and stuff like that, people eat that every day. That's not healthy. Like we're to have we have to have a variety of nutrients in our diet. So what does that mean? Vegetables, like right when we do our eggs, it only we use just a little bit of egg, and the rest is all vegetable. The rest is spinach, tomato, onion, pepper. So we have to make sure we're incorporating fiber in our meals, okay? So this bacon's done. I'm gonna add that here. And I'm just gonna add that to the side of this plate that we've made here. So we can start on the tofu scramble, okay? Now, tofu scramble, I'm gonna use the same plate. I'm gonna use the same plate right now. I'm gonna put some more gloves on. I'm gonna use the same pan. And for tofu scramble, How many people have had it? I think that's like the most original type of food so far, but some people don't know how to make it. And it's super easy, super, super easy. So we're gonna take our tofu. I'm only gonna use a half a block, but I like to use firm. Okay. Don't use too soft because that's not going to be wise. It won't turn into scrambled. It'll be like liquidy. So remember the firmness of tofu really depends on the amount of water that's inside. I like my scrambled egg, my tofu scrambled a little soft. So even though I chose firm, I'm not going to compress it and take any more water out because I'm using firm. So that's why I use firm. If you happen to have medium, just take a little bit of time to put the like a weight on top of the tofu, just for like about half an hour to an hour, and drain that. Make sure there's not too much water. Okay, I'm gonna drain this water. Okay, and I'm going to take half of this. I'm going to take it out, and this is the easy and fun part. I'm literally just going to crush it up. And put it right on there, just like that. Look how easy. Okay. And I'm right away going to season it so that as it's cooking and drying up and that water is dehydrating, as it's cooking, it's going to absorb the seasonings that are on top of it. So I'm going to add some garlic powder, black pepper, same thing I would as with the other seasoning, except we're gonna add another ingredient. We are going to add, where is it? Turmeric. Yes, that's how you get your egg color. Now we're literally adding just a little, like a pinch, okay? That's it, a pinch. That's it, pinch. Start with a pinch because it is a very strong flavor and some people don't like turmeric to overpower, and it shouldn't. It's just for coloring and it has health benefits. So we have garlic powder, salt, pepper. If I had onion, I would put onion powder as well. I'm going to put some salt and I'm going to start stirring it. Okay. The turmeric is going to start taking the color of the egg, making an egg color. And remember, always start small. If you're playing around with this and this is like new to you, like remember, eggs are not that strong of a flavor. The yolk is, but scrambled and egg whites don't have that strong of a flavor. So by adding this, you're really just adding what you would add to normal eggs. And I like to add again like tomatoes and peppers. And I like to add ketchup to my eggs too. So I'm going to add ketchup to these because I'm the one eating them, right? So I'm going to add some tomatoes. I'm going to put this on high. Excuse me. I'm going to put this on high. These are also great for the tortilla. You can eat these however you like. So I'm going to cut this tomato. Okay, tomato. I'm going to put the rest of my spinach. And I'm going to cut this pepper. Now, it's pretty hard to overcook tofu scramble. So I noticed I didn't put the peppers in first. That's okay because this can cook for a while and still it's not going to burn. It's not going to burn. There's so much water in tofu. If you burn tofu, it's because you really weren't paying attention to the stove. But it really is hard to burn it. So I'm going to mix it more and let it cook there. I'm also going to give you a recipe right now for another dish that I like making. Now, this dish is not a traditional dish. Okay, while this is cooking, okay, we're going to let that sit for a second. Now, I want to talk about amaranth. Okay, this is really great to lower your cholesterol. It's gluten free, and it's a good carb. So it gives you that energy boost you want in the morning. And what I like to how I like to make this is with I take some, put it in a bowl. I mean a stock pot, and I'm gonna put coconut milk in the amaranth. I don't put water. I put a lot of either oat milk and coconut milk so that it's not overpowering the coconut milk is not going to overpower it if you put all the liquid. It does use a lot of liquid when you're boiling it. How do you know it's cooked? Is when they become translucent. The seeds are very small. I'm going to take off my gloves so you can see how small the seeds are. And I use this as a porridge. See how small these seeds are? Has anyone cooked with amaranth before? Has anyone seen amaranth? This was new to me when I went vegan, but I like using it. And what I do is I take pears or apples, and I'll cut them, turn it upside down, leave it in the oven. So I'm roasting them. Then I take out the roasted fruit. After I make the amaranth porridge with the coconut milk and the other, like half coconut milk and half oat milk, and it's translucent, I put a little maple syrup across the whole thing. I have it on my Instagram and my Sabrosa Vegana, I believe, and it is so good. That is a really good winter hearty morning um, morning breakfast. Yeah, some people have never heard of amaranth. I was new to it just about a few years back. A lot of things I was new to when I first became vegan, and I loved cooking before that, but now like you start learning more things. So this is how it looks. I don't recommend buying it like this. I do recommend buying it in bulk. It's cheaper. It's like $1 and change for a pound, okay? It's like, yeah, you can use it like cream of wheat. Yes, that's how you can use it. But I use it with coconut milk, and it gives it that sweetness plus the roasted fruit or the banana, and then maple syrup, and then a dab of sunflower butter. That's a good breakfast, okay? So, I like to buy the amaranth. I don't know if anyone's heard of the food co-op on Corteliu, I think. How do you say that name? Corteliu in Brooklyn. The food co-op has a lot of bulk. So I like to buy my rice. They have black rice, red rice. They have a lot of good variety there. Excuse me. So I like to buy my amaranth there in bulk in the bag, and it's like $5 for a huge bag. Like you can't go wrong at $1 and change per pound. Like this is a affordable way to eat breakfast and get your nutrients. Okay, get energy for the morning. Okay, remember to always add things. Add some walnuts if you can. Add bananas and fruits and roasted vegetables. Add some sunflower or peanut butter. A little bit of maple syrup isn't gonna kill you. So this is one of my favorite things to cook. Okay, so this is actually ready for me to there we go. Should I add should I add cheese to this? Nah, I already add cheese to the other one. But look at this. This is our tofu scramble. So we make eggs two ways. We made tofu scramble, and then we also made just egg with our bacon. Okay? You know what I could add to this is a little bit of that sausage. If I wanted to right now, I could take some of this frozen and like chop it up and throw it in there and still cook it longer. Like I'll tell you, tofu has so much water, it's not gonna do it wrong just by cooking it like that. It's so good. Also, I have another. Okay, well this is still, and I'm gonna plate that. While that's still cooking, remember how I warm these up? I cover it like this. So it does two things. It cooks it more underneath, and then it also warms up the tortillas without burning it. Okay? Now, what are some alternatives for people that like to work out, that like to have smoothies and shakes? Are there vegan brands out there? Yes. I like this brand, Planta. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. You can see this flavor is like a banana French toast, banana maple French toast flavor. And this is a really good breakfast or even lunch or dinner alternative. This is pure protein powder. You take a scoop. I'm going to tell you how much it has now. It has 20 grams of protein per one scoop. So this is really great for the gym, or if you're just like on the go and you really need your balance and you just want to throw like bananas and whatever in there and not really have to worry about too much. This is a good brand. There are a lot of other protein powders out there. Some people go for different flavorings. Some people say it's too thick or things like that. But again, you can go crazy with trying them. It's not going to hurt to try them. Again, try to add minerals like sea moss into your drinks. Try to add sunflower butter or proteins, chia seeds, flax, even hemp seeds. I have hemp seeds too. I should have brought that down. So this is done. We're going to plate this now. I'm going to plate it here. I have a mess going here. Okay. I'm going to plate the hot. Turn this off. Okay, so eggs two different ways. Now, if you don't finish eating these eggs, you can wait till they cool down and put them in a Tupperware. These things don't have to be eaten right away. They're fresh, so they can't stay too long in the fridge. I would say maximum 4 days for freshness. It doesn't mean that they won't go bad longer, but it just means you want to have the food at the high nutrient phase of when you cooked it. And now I'm going to put some in the tortilla. Yum. I'm going to dress it up now because it has to look cute. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this. It's all soy anyway. And a little bit of ketchup. Put one on one. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Sorry, folks, my nose is like, running today. Okay, so this is the food. We have our tofu scramble with one side has bacon bits and one side has some ketchup on there. We have vegetables in there and it's in a wrap. So look, really easy. Okay? Really quick and easy, okay? I want to eat it so bad. I'm not gonna go crazy on eating it on because I do not look cute when I eat. So here's our other one we did, the first one with just egg. Now I'm gonna zoom in for this one because it looks so realistic. Look at that. Excuse me. Woo. It looks so real, right? The egg. Excuse me. Thank you. Woo. Okay. So let's go over one last time all the breakfast things we did today, or all of the breakfast options we talked about. We have two types of eggs. We had just egg and tofu scramble that we made. We did tempeh bacon, okay? We talked about smoothies, putting dates in it, and different additives. We talked about the different types of alternative sausages that there are out there right now and meats. We talked about adding cheese to your egg, right? Because you can add cheese to your egg. We talked about adding ham to your egg, the types of vegan ham, and bagel with cream cheese, right? Like a quick, easy thing to do. They also have bagel with butter. This is vegan butter, Earth Balance, okay? Earth Balance is vegan. There's protein powders you can have in the morning for breakfast. Okay? Thank you so much. It looks and tastes good. Trust me, I'm going to eat this the minute I turn this off. I'm going to eat just this one first. This is my favorite. The just egg is really my favorite with the bacon. The tempeh bacon, you could do BLTs with it. You can go crazy exploring and having fun with breakfast. It doesn't have to be like, what do I eat for breakfast because I'm vegan now? Like, I used to eat BLTs, or I used to eat, I mean, bacon, lettuce, and bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. You could still eat bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. You could put the bacon, the egg, and the cheese on a roll, what we just did here. Okay? So there are still so many options out there. Now look for specials. Food Bazaar and Wegmans and Trader Joe's are the three top places that I go right now. Fairway does have some has vegan options, but for specials, sometimes they have specials. Like the Gardein brand, they're known to have a lot of specials. For like like they'll take $1 off or two at the supermarket on certain days. Now, smoothies. Let's not forget, sea moss is really important. It helps with immunity defense, and it has minerals. Um, don't forget to add that. We talked about amaranth porridge, making amaranth porridge with roasted vegetables or bananas and with coconut milk. It does take. I like to slow cook it. Sometimes you can put amaranth in a slow cooker and just make sure you keep checking on it and it has enough liquid. Add some more liquid after that. It does absorb and take a lot of liquid to make. Like it's like cream of wheat in texture, but not in how fast it's made. Like it does take a little bit of while to get used to it, and then it's such a great breakfast alternative. And then don't forget to add. I always like to mention adding that sunflower butter because it's such a great additive for a boost. So thank you for joining us today. I can't wait to eat this tofu scramble and the just egg. I'm starving. I'm starving right now. And remember, with the just egg, when you're making it, just make sure that you're not over stirring it. Let it let it sit for a minute. And if you're using a nonstick pan, if you're not, put a little bit of oil on it that coats it, and then let it build a layer, a solid layer. It's not going to overburn unless you have it on high, but you got to keep watching it and then start folding it and fold it and fold it and then flip it and let it cook. Just egg is not to be meant to be made to be scrambling like I did the tofu scramble. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a little something on a lot of breakfast options that there are when you are vegan or when you're trying vegan options. Maybe you're not fully vegan and you just want to have vegan breakfast to start your day. And you're just saying, let me just try this or that. There's so many brands to try out there right now. Dairy, whether it's dairy with the egg and the butter and the cream cheese, whether it's meats. There's so many alternatives now. Okay, this was at Wegmans. I got this today. So good. It's like a tempeh bacon. It said, I have a question. What do you say goes in the amaranth porridge, but bananas inside? Okay, so not you could put it while it's cooking, but I don't recommend it because the porridge takes a lot to boil. I to boil it, I don't boil it with water. I boil it with like a lot of oat milk and then coconut milk to give it that coconut flavor. And then the amaranth afterwards, it's a porridge, right? Then afterwards, I'll add on top the roasted pear or roasted apple or banana on top. And then I'll put a little maple syrup for sugar and eat it like put cinnamon, just like you would like almost like an oatmeal or any other type of like porridge like that. But adding it inside, if you do want to add it inside, add it at the end because it does take a while to cook. And if you put other fruits in it, it will can like turn into mush inside. If you want that, hey, why not? But like if you want kind of the textures there, I would add it at the end. Uh, Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to put again all these recipes on the Black Fest Fest IG. Again, I'll give you a hint. Wegman sells this bad boy for $5.99, and this will last you three or four servings. Okay, if you're sparing. Don't pour half the whole thing. You're like, oh, I don't need that. You don't need that much if you're gonna add vegetables, especially. Some places do sell it expensive still, which I don't understand why. When they specifically said that they were coming out with lowering their prices for people, so look for good prices. Certain food bazaars sell it cheaper, like the one in Queens, and then the one in Brooklyn. I didn't see it for cheap. It was like $8.99. So this is not for everyday eating. Like I said, try to eat more vegetables and fruits and whole foods every day. We're not to be really eating cream cheese and stuff every day, but I was at one point eating the tofu scramble all the time, like because it was easy to go to school with and stuff. So that I'm not gonna object to, but just be aware of the amount of oils and salts that we're putting into our body when we try these products. I love these products. I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm just saying there has to be a balance. I know typically American breakfasts we're used to just eating like bagels with cream cheese every day or bacon, egg, and cheese every day. And that is not healthy, whether it's vegan or not, okay? Especially if it's not vegan because of the added fats that are naturally in those animals. So, on top of the cooking it in oil, right? So, when you're eating those things, we already are putting ourselves at risk. So, just try to remember these are just like when I have in Spanish, we call antojos, like when I feel like I really want to have some eggs today. You know what I mean? If not, I usually drink a smoothie in the morning, like the strawberry and banana with a little bit of a protein powder inside. So try to give yourself a balance. Try to explore and have fun exploring the different foods that are out there. Next time we'll go over lunch and dinner, okay? And we're gonna have a guest speaker soon. So stay tuned every Sunday and Wednesday at 12 o'clock for Black Veg Fest breakout. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you all. My name is Jillian. Take care and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye. I'm gonna